Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me in this pick a card session this round. I think we could use a little breather and smell some flowers. So I ask that you choose your flower. Which one calls to you? Which one beckons? Is it more than one? As always, timestamps are provided. I will see you there, fam. Just real quick, if anyone knows the name of this type of flower, can you please drop that in the comments? It's like on the tip of my tongue and it's driving me crazy. It's just, I feel like I know it. I keep thinking chrysanthemum, but I know that's not a chrysanthemum. Maybe a type of marigold? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You tell me. Okie dokie, fam. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into it. Let's begin with the Believe in Your Own magic deck this round. Kind of switching it up a little again. That's an interesting vibe. I already did a bit of pre-shuffling. I always like to do some more once I hit record. How many? 1, 2. What's on the bottom? Confidence. It comes with time and practice, fam. Okie dokie. I received this yesterday in a personal reading. So I like to say that we all tend to be like, we're kindred souls. That's what this channel is for anyway. So it's not like we're in the exact same boat together, but we're like hanging out in the same body of water, with our different points and our different paths, but still able to relate in so many ways, right? A hard truth to swallow. Sometimes our villains win. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing and empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. And I feel like that, I don't know about you, but 1010 for me was very emotional. And it was like, there's so much I'm trying to do right now, or I'm doing, thank you. But I feel like some days it's like a pressure valve or whatever. You just kind of got to let off some steam every now and then and get it out of your system. And then you can move back on like, if that makes any sense. What I'm noticing from this card is the musical notes. So that kind of speaks to me that there's someone in your life, like me, who talks a lot of crap and is always messing with your vibe from the moment you wake up to the moment they go to sleep, right? A lot of negativity, a lot of crap, a lot of trying to tell you who you are as if you don't know any better. And that's just simply not the truth, is it, fam? So the fact that these two came up together at the same time that someone is being extremely loud in my home is really speaking to me, right? Because what exactly are you doing that you need permission for, right? And sometimes it can feel like we're being tested, but I ask you, tested on what exactly? Do you learn your lessons and move on, never making those mistakes or those types of decisions ever again? Or do you just keep meh, right? I'm going to go with the former. Yeah, there may be some things that we just don't quite get because we're hyper-focused on something else, but we come around to it eventually, whether we like it or not, because that's hashtag life, right? So, whose approval do you need exactly to live and be you and do your thing? Because let me tell you, even though someone is being very disrespectful, it doesn't change the fact that you're not doing anything wrong. Are you actually the villain, or are you being told that you're the one in the wrong? Are you being gaslit? Have you had to realize, okay, well, that wasn't working, so I'm going to try something else? I mean, I hope so, right? People will always have their own expectations of who they think you should be. Their opinions are almost always based on restrictive societal norms and therefore are extremely unrealistic. No matter what they tell you, remember that you have permission to be whoever it is you most wish to be. You don't need anyone else's approval, only yours. Moving on to the archetype deck. I keep struggling with my shuffles lately, but I swear earlier I had some good ones, so don't you worry. Oh, that good old arthritis and genetics. Boop. Boop. How many shall we draw from this one? What do you think? The ring. Yes. The vow is at the bottom. Okay. The infinite, the wheel, the connection. The ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, the ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and macro united. This card calls us to deepen the connection with self, other, and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring waiting to adorn your finger. Ooh, fam. Study images of the mandala, the unus mundus, the Ouroboros, and the medicine wheel. Take stock of the jewels you adorn yourself with. Watch out for rings you wear out of habit that keep you connected to the old you. When light, connectedness, humility, sacred cycles. When dark, unconscious repetition, starving for connection. Okay, so this one's going to involve a lot of words that YouTube may not be happy with, but we're going for it, fam. Love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with a primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led toward its center. Wow, these are very interesting cards that are coming up pairing together in this one, fam. Hello, how you doing? The Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate Eros energy. She's also known as Kameshvari, Empress of Desire. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce words and names. I will never be offended by being corrected. I would rather say it right. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften, when light, passion, playfulness, sexual health, when dark, madness, projection, obsession. Alrighty then. I don't know if this is turning into a love reading or what's going on. What's going on, fam? What you doing? What I'm feeling, if I may say, is there's this bit that you're working on, right? A reclaiming of self. We've been talking about that a lot around here. And as you're doing so, you're opening yourself up. And I don't want to downplay that. That's an incredible thing, to be able to evolve and grow and learn from your mistakes. Or maybe not, maybe with certain things, mistake is a bit harsh. You know what I mean? Like, not going to do that again, but it's not necessarily a mistake. And if you're dealing with regret, then it's because you haven't finished learning from that experience, right? You can't see the dots connecting along the way throughout your life to it. But I really, if it's not already entering your life, it feels like love is coming. Like that's a part of what all this has been for, right? Oh yeah, clarification round. That's how I do, fam. We're loosening up, right? We're supposed to be smelling the flowers and taking a moment to breathe. Don't forget, don't you know? Oh, the Lover's card up and the Nine of Swords. What's that about? What are you holding on to? What are you scared of? What are you worried about the same crap happening again? Why would it, fam? Because even if it tries, you know how to handle it now, don't you? No one gets to tell you who you are. They get to listen while you tell them and you show them. And if they don't like it, they can get out of the way, fam. It can't... All right, listen. Ooh. Daddy YouTube, please. What we're not going to do is cover a penis with a clear quartz again. That didn't work out so well that time. It wants to come out, so we're going to take that as a chance to cut the deck. Now, keep in mind that it has been pointed out, and the Lovers is the same way. I know a lot of people like to be like, woo, and just go straight to that. But that also includes self-love, self-acceptance. And that's been a part of this round of evolution, hasn't it? I'm hearing once and for all. You've been doing a lot of work. And whether you believe it or not, you should. You deserve love. You deserve to feel comfortable in your own skin and knowing that just like anyone else, you are beautiful in your own right. Maybe that's a bit too woo-woo for you. Guess what? If you had that reaction, I feel like you're only proving my point. You need more love in your life. You want it, whether you're willing to admit it or not, whether you're one of us who can admit it. It's one of the main reasons why we're here. It's one of the main ways that we function. Oh. Okay, so then my question is, are you not wanting to see? Are you not wanting to evolve? Have you been trying to close yourself off because you don't want to be hurt again? You don't want to deal with that betrayal again? Or do you know what you are unwilling to put up with ever again? You're like, listen, I'm on some new beginnings. I'm moving on. The moon has illuminated things to me, and I know better now. I don't even need to see you coming. I can feel you. And I say no. Right? The past is the past. Only if you let it stay back there. The more you scratch and pick at that scab. Oh my goodness, why am I filming at the time everybody's coming home from work? On a Friday. Well, you know, human's gonna human. I would love to say that they're all like confirmation sounds, but you know, it's 4:36, man. So it's okay if you want to science it a little bit and be like, or people are coming home for the weekend. Hey. But seriously, no distractions though. Is that it? Oh, is that it? You're trying to do this thing and you don't want any more distractions. Even if it's stuff that has been in your life that you've been wearing for decades. Is it time to simply let them go? I'm not saying you need to go to the pawn shop or anything, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, now I'm hearing let bygones be bygones. Are you cutting cords? Yeah, you are. Heck yeah, fam. Now I know that, you know, this is oftentimes referred to as the thief of the tarot. But, what? Not this time, fam. This round, I feel like this is you making off like a bandit. And finally, you know, like you've learned your lessons and you know what you want to take with you at dawn. We ride at dawn, fam. And what you need to leave behind. Wow, this is just a really interesting flow this round. I mean, it always is. That's one of my favorite things about tarot. But like, fam, hello. What's going on? Oh, we're going on adventures. It's time to do this. Where are we going first, fam? What's up? Now, see, this round, what I'm feeling with this little dog down here is that's your wisdom gained. Going, hey. Do you even have an umbrella, Mary Poppins? Where are you going? That's a cliff. Whoa. Like if we're up on the mountain like the hermit, we've learned some things. And where the hermit has the star within that lantern guiding them, fam. And this is us being like, all right, it's time to come off this mountain. I've grown, I've learned, and it is a new dawn. It's a new day. We're taking off, fam. Where are we going? What is this adventure? Wow. The fact that the Ten of Pentacles is coming up underneath the Lovers. Are you kidding me right now? Listen, this is your chosen family. So whether it's biological or nah, that's some good right there. This is everything that you have been working toward. This is what has kept you breathing. Even if it's just been hope. I already mentioned the star, right? This is what everything's been for. All the lessons learned and us being able to walk the walk, not just talking, right? Everything coming to fruition. And now that you've learned these lessons, there are very particulars that you've been healing from, like your heart, your subconscious mind that really likes to remind you of the darkness that you've been oh so comfortable in at times in your life. Because it's always going to be a part of us, right? That whole like balance, yin yang, right? But people like us, fam, because again, this channel was created for my kindred souls. People like us leave the darkness wanting. I don't mean we're left wanting as we leave the darkness. No. We leave the darkness wanting more from us. And it can just keep on wanting, fam, because we're in charge. We're in control of our lives and our futures, aren't we? Fuck! Yes, we are. Holy crap. Oh, fam. Look at you. Oh, fam. Hopes and dreams, everything that you've been working toward, your manifestations, all of it coming to fruition. This has been painful at times, but it's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new type of adventure. That's a new horizon, right? Aw, look at that. What an incredible lineup right there, fam. That is 2 10s. Holy crap. Goodness. Aw. From making off like a bandit, that doesn't mean that you don't still want to share. That's, it's family. That's love. Whatever that means for you. To give is to receive. You've gained so much wisdom, so much mental clarity, and the struggle has been real. Too real at times. But you've got this. I'm so thankful that you're still here, that you're still a force in this world, because we need you. Okay? We need you. I don't know if you need a hug, if you're a hugger, or whatever that equivalent is for you. I am sending those positive vibes your way, fam. You've got this. Oh my goodness. I kept thinking like the harvest is in. Like this is years of harvest. Everything's been going very well, and boosh. There's the 9 of Pentacles, baby. Wow. It's all coming to fruition, fam. All of this work for self-acceptance, self-love, learning what doesn't bleep and work, learning the difference between, okay, well, this person is yapping at me some advice, but I don't need to listen to them. They're crazy. You know, they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, no one can live your life for you, right? So you can appreciate advice, but you don't need to heed it. You don't even need to heed mine. But something tells me you've got a damn good head on your shoulders. And you just need to get the sound of other people's voices out of it. Leave it behind. It doesn't get to come with you on this adventure. Everything's working out. Goodness gracious, the way everything's lining up. Wow. Aww. So question. Are you ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh my goodness. Did you just see what's on the bottom? Bam, bam, boosh. What did I say? Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. All right. Maybe there's some love. Aw, fam. Now, new beginnings. And we're approaching beginnings these days differently, right? Right? It's not the same old anymore. We're different. And now, everything in the 3D, everything that surrounds us, now that gets to change. Why? Because we want it. Sharing is caring, and you've got this, fam. Stick to it. If you need to continue evolving, which you do, because you're a human, and that's what life is about, growth, expansion. And it's not like you want to go around hurting people. Wow, fam. I mean, this could be work. This could be finding new friends. People who you're not just relating to one another because of trauma and just trauma dumping on top of each other. No, 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 no. This is such a lovely flow coming into your life, fam. Congratulations. Your cup runneth over. My goodness. That is incredible. Wow, fam. Wow. All right. Boop, boop, doo. What else do we got in store? 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay. That was a lot. Huh. What lies beyond creature comforts? Money doesn't actually change people, fam. A lot of times it just shows who they really were the whole time. 1, 2, 3. Let's cut the deck. I'm seeing one of my favorite phrases that I learned as a child, thanks to Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Mind over matter. Want over need. And that's one of the things you've been learning, huh? The differences between wants and need. And knowing how to provide both for yourself instead of worrying about what other people are doing, right? Is there another perspective, maybe? Have you been hyper-focused on something? So you kind of feel like there's something, but what about this? What about that? Well, shifty poo, you know? Oh, I'm just going to put this right here with the touching doors. Hashtag soon. And lately what I've really been wanting to do is cross out the 2, sorry Morrissey, and put in so. See, I've already waited so long. Fam, it's time to stop waiting. This new chapter, the rest of your life, it's here. It's here. Are you ready for it? I think you are. I think you've made your leaps and bounds, and it's time to come off that mountain for this wonderful life that is yours. Thank you so much for joining me, fam. I really appreciate your time and energy. This was an incredible reading, full of positive vibes, and I'm so thankful to have been a part of this with you. Until next time, please keep in mind that I love you. Hey there, group 2. As soon as I brought up this image of the red rose, I began feeling perfectionism. And I'm wondering why exactly. I don't mean like to poo-poo on anyone with high standards, because I have high standards. Thank you. It's more, I've kind of been feeling like perfectionism is another cage, but one that we put ourselves into, if that makes any sense. So Let's see. Let us see here. I did do some pre-shuffling beforehand, but then I hit record and, you know. So let's see. Oh, okay, that was it. Let's go. Thank you so much for joining me. Perfectionist or not, evil queen. See, you deserve sugar, not salt. Who's being mean to you? Confidence. It comes with time and practice. Has someone... Was it your childhood? Is this from childhood? Things that were said to you when you were young? Even when, like, I'm remembering... I was in vocal ensemble and different choirs and stuff as a kid. And for one of my finals for vocal ensemble in high school, one semester, I did Making Whoopee a la Michelle Pfeiffer and the Fabulous Baker Boys, right? And I practiced and I practiced and went over it and went over it. And when I went to sing it for my mother, she told me that she didn't think I had the voice for that kind of music, for that style. And it crushed me. It absolutely crushed me. Meanwhile, literally everybody else really enjoys it when I sing that. I remember a friend of mine, I think at karaoke one time, I sang a Sarah McLachlan song or whatever. This was the early 2000s. And she was like, you know what you would be really great with your voice? And she started bringing up Nora Jones. So some of our mothers just simply don't know what they're talking about. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if it's the same for you and you needed to hear that and relate or what, right? Someone has been putting things into your head and you are very self-deprecating. You always take the blame or whatever you have. Or that's someone in particular. Thank you for your patience, everyone else. Maybe you don't even remember because you're just trying to do the thing. You're just trying to live and you repressed, right? But your confidence has taken a hit if you were ever allowed to have any. And you're learning how, right? You're realizing, oh, that voice in my head, that improperly trained, this piece of lint's been driving me nuts, that has improperly trained your subconscious, and you're hopefully learning how to retrain your subconscious, right? Your voice is the most important voice in your entire life. You can't get away from it, right? Yeah, I'm hearing someone's been downright cruel. Absolutely cruel. And you haven't ever deserved it. Ever. Agape. Escape. The mountain. I don't know if I've ever pulled the mountain before. I know that agape, that is about having that, returning to, reclaiming it, but having that awe for life again, and nature, and the evolution of it all, that wonder, right? It doesn't have to be rose-tinted glasses. Where is that joy, that thirst for life, right? I will read the mountain, though, because I don't know how to speak on that one. I've never pulled it before. The ascent, the fear, the insurmountable. The mountain stands eternally in our awareness, calling us toward its peak. It stirs up stoic and regal feelings, regal, reminding us of the long line of spirits, sages, sadhus, and gods that made their humble thrones within its snowy peaks. Beware, though, that the mountain can affect us in two ways. It can inspire and enliven us to rise to new heights and peak experience, yet it can also create isolation, competitiveness, and an inflated sense of self. Standing upon its heights can activate the purist and the perfectionist, fam. What did I say? What did I say? I see you. I see myself. Oh, God. Fair's fair. And the perfectionist and us, plural, creating separation from those we deem to be below. No matter how high you ascend, remember that it is within the core of the mountain that the gems, minerals, and jewels reside. If you think it's all about going up, you're following the fool's path and missing the miner's magic. Contemplate Joseph Campbell's suggestion. You are the central mountain, and the central mountain is everywhere. Name dropping Joseph Campbell in this one. Research mountains. Find one that strikes you and stare at it for a while. Where is it? The pilgrim may be awakening in you. The summit calls. When light, grounded in the eternal, steadfast, uplifting. When dark, ominous, daunting, isolating, frigid. Well then, clarification round. Here we go. What else you got? Oh my goodness. Listen, I think that in your pursuits, you've learned a lot. And you have every reason to be in awe of yourself, of your life, of all of the ways that you touch and affect people, whether you realize it or not. There's a difference between self-awareness and knowing who you are and being able to be confident in yourself and your endeavors and being full of yourself. You know what I mean? That obnoxious arrogance that some people claim to have, at least. Right? Where shall we go, fam? Ooh, indeed. 2 of Wands. Looky. So, you've got your stuff. Like, look, they look like they're standing in a decent little spot, right? Maybe they're in a castle, a nice little villa. And they've got the world in their palm, looking out like, where shall we go next? Are you at the top of your mountain going, it's time to go to Betty? Wow. Find the joy in your life again. Find that thrill. Because I think you're safe to do so now. Maybe you weren't safe to do so before, but you're safe to do so now. You know? Now if somebody talks some shit, you don't need to listen to that. Because they don't know, you know, like other people don't get to tell you who you are. They get to sit there and listen while you tell them. Right? That's a point I made with group 1. So if that one was pulling for you, there you go. I do this thing where I'll check if there's 2 or multiples that I'm like, I'll check the last one. That way, if they comment, then I'll go back. I love pick-a cards. They're so interesting. But the thing that has been getting me about this one is look at how full these cups are. You know, they're not. It's not like the 8 of Cups where they're just empty, seemingly empty, and perfectly stacked. But there's also this guard in the background, right? There's a security there. Maybe you're getting back in touch with things that you enjoyed when you were younger. Maybe there are aspects of yourself that you're finally allowing to come up for air. And it feels good, right? Maybe you already are feeling this joy and wonder for life again, but you still have a bit of healing to do. You're still a little scared. There's still a little something, I don't know if nagging at you is quite the right word, but I like how we go from 2 to 23. Moving on. 2. That's it. Mastery. There's certain skills, there's a certain particular that you've been working on. That's what this card is. It's mastery. Whether it's work, something that you're hoping to, fund your life. A job or business or creativity. There's something that you've been putting the time in, right? Taking that time for and really learning about building that skill and mastering. Maybe even yourself. But I think there's more to it than that. I think that mastering yourself and moving beyond the toxicity that was trying to seep into you and tell you who you are and how you are has been enabling you to see, oh, I can do this, this thing that I've always wanted to do but felt foolish most of my life, and now I'm realizing isn't foolish at all. I don't know, because I'm kind of feeling a returning to self, which I feel is just this day and age right now. There's so much destruction, so many towers tumbling all over the world, right? And people trying to rebuild. And you're mastering that. Whatever it is, you've been putting the time in, and it's good. It's very, very good. Things are coming to fruition. Wow, that balance. We not only have a queen, a very nurturing, loving, might as well be an empress queen, but we also have the King of Cups, who is very in control of himself. And this is just, how we do. It's energy. And this is a lot of balancing happening. Look at this. The Two of Wands. Maybe you've been feeling things that you haven't felt since you were a kid. And you're building on that. You're growing whatever it is that you're working toward. It's a good thing. This is very encouraging. Oh my goodness gracious. Can we just bask in this glow for a moment? Holy cow pie, Batman. So, a lot of people refer to this as the Witch of the Tarot with her black cat familiar and such, right? So the cups are feelings and emotions and the royalty, kings and queens and stuff. They no longer control you. You control yourself. Maybe that's what you've been mastering. But one thing about energy and magic and manifestations, she is on par with a magician, fam, is that balance of emotions, of yourself, that self-control. Maybe that is more so what the perfectionism has been for you. It's about self-control. Maybe you just simply didn't have it, or you didn't feel it, or maybe there was so much happening, so much chaos throughout your life, that it became very important for you to at least be able to control yourself, right? Which is incredible. Maybe you've just realized that, like, okay, really harnessing and understanding to let go of what you can't control, because you already have enough that you can, especially yourself. Did I process that correctly? Did I like, is that it? Eh? Let us see. This can just, we're just gonna stick it there for a moment. How about that? Because it feels like a good bridge. It feels like a great bridge. You need to shut out the world and tune everyone else out. I don't know if you want to throw on some Hertz frequency, or if you have your own singing bowls to play with, or what it is. But that is where, like yesterday with October 10th, at the time of filming this anyway, yesterday, for me personally, it was very emotional. And it was like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? It kind of took me a bit by surprise at first, because it was like, what is this? What is all the work that I've been doing if this is you know what I mean? But you're still human. You're still human on an adventure. And part of that self-control is understanding that sometimes you just need to breathe. Whether it's through meditation or listening to music and just singing your own heart out, whether you're in the shower or not, right? Whether anybody can hear you or not. Just do it. Whatever those things are that help you to tune out the toxicity and to remind you to catch your subconscious when it's being cruel to you, when you are being cruel to yourself, right? For me, it's meditation. Highly recommend. That's usually what I think of when I see the Four of Swords. Meditation. Because balance, I'm feeling this need for balance. Anything in excess is bad, okay? Maybe that's what you're mastering, because that falls right in line. I love the way things fall in line together. Wow, that's a lot of royalty. Oof. Okay, so maybe sometimes we can be a little bit dramatic, but that's because it means so much, right? It means so much. This has been everything. Everything. It has been so important. It has meant so much to you, right? And these words looping in your head have cut so deep. And most people, it's like they don't even realize. How often are you misunderstood by people, fam? Right? How often have you been told, oh, that's a bit excessive, that's a bit dramatic? You're reacting in a bit more and more emotionally than I would expect you to for the situation. Because they don't understand what it's meant for you, how it affects you. They can't see your trauma that you've been trying to heal. But you know what I also see? What I also hear when the Ten of Swords comes up? I sing it a lot, fam. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. We still have the dawn. The 10 is completion. You had your dark night of the soul, and maybe every now and then it's like a pressure gauge, just like a little valve. You got to let off some steam, maybe shed some tears, and just let it wash away so that you can face the next day. If you need to take a day to breathe, do so. That's what enables us to do what we gotta do. That's what enables us to heal. and you want a new chapter, and it's beginning. I think it's already begun. Maybe it's just difficult to recognize. We start off with the Two of Wands, passion, creativity, that want, that thirst for life. And to come to the Ten of Swords. This has been deep, deep work. Yeah, I think this is mastering yourself. I know that there are a lot of things that you enjoy, that you love doing. A lot of hats you may wear, or particular that you've mastered. But for me, for it to come in line, wind up in line with the Four of Swords, I feel like you've been mastering yourself. And you've been doing an incredible job. The queens are the more nurturing, right? And you have two queens with that king. You are a master, a manifester. You're very nurturing and kind. You feel deeply. And there's nothing wrong with that, fam. Anyone trying to tell you different can take it to the mirror. What's the epilogue? Wow! We got the moon at the bottom. Okay, so has it been illuminated? Or is there still... Can we see them? Can we see them, Dee? No? Okay, cool, because YouTube's crazy. YouTube's, you know... It's like just enough is illuminated to keep us going, right? So with the moon card, we have this, what is that, a crawdad? And these canines and this path leading to the mountains, right? Is that the dawn trying to peek up over that mountain? This is, you know, started at the bottom and now we're heading to the top kind of a thing. Because do you think that you're anywhere in this card? Wow, Six of Pentacles under there. Are you any of these creatures? I don't think so. I think you're beyond there. That's where you began this journey. And these two pillars right now are making me think of justice, the Justice card. It's very interesting ebb and flow to life, isn't it? Sometimes we're just in awe. Wow, fam, the world, the dancer of the tarot, that's the major arcana. Well, I mean, besides the moon on the bottom of the deck, coming out to play this round. Hey, where do you want to go? Where shall we go next? You've got the literal world in the palm of your hand, fam. Wow. Wow. Hey, get it. I just bopped the shit out of it. Knock, knock. The rest of your life is calling, eh? Ooh, almost came out. I love synchronicities. I like to think of them as like, Can you see what that is? I like to think of synchronicities as like the universe, your guardians, whoever that is for you, whatever that is for you, being like, hello, keep going, you've got this, fuck yeah. That's what I think of synchronicities. Massive amounts of encouragement, because you're noticing that crap, right? Whether it's music, a certain song that comes on, like, of all times to hear this particular song, holy cow by Batman, right? Or numbers on the clock, on your phone, whatever. It's a hello, keep it up, you're doing the thing. Now, toxic, and this is quoting a Kalani song. God, I love that song so much. I get real accountable when I'm alone. Now, we've already talked about this evil queen, this person, possibly from your childhood. A parent. For me, it's my mom. And a lot of my cousins. Super freaking negative. Super, super freaking negative. It can be people, friends texting you and just about their day, right? You're like, that's right. Except no, not anymore, right? What is your part played in that? It's time to leave that behind. Stop torturing yourself. Is that an undercurrent? Is that the theme underneath? Self-infliction. I'm not trying to discredit the things people have done to you, whether they even realized it or not. That's definitely in there. That's a lot of freaking swords there, fam. What's on the bottom? You can go your own way. If I could, baby, I'd give you my world, right? And this note says, love at arm's length. What have you been holding at arm's length? Is it the world? Is it the rest of your life? You can do your own thing. If it's someone who's so dear to you, if it's people who are so dear to you that you've been friends with or close to for so long, whatever the tone of that relationship, sometimes loving them is letting go of them, because you need to take care of yourself. And if you just need to be pumping them positive vibes, I mean, I'm doing it like this, but it doesn't have to be money, you know. Just sending positive vibes to people, praying for them, whatever that means for you, again, so be it. But how can I when you won't take it from me? How can I love you and help you when you don't even know how to help and love yourself? Sometimes you just need to hold people at arm's length so that we don't go down with them. And no one can hurt us as well and as deeply as ourselves. So again, I'm thinking of perfectionism. What is it for you that makes you so badly want to be a perfectionist? Have you recently learned that you're autistic, not ADHD, or not just ADHD, and you're realizing that the life that you thought that you were trying to live was never meant for you? You don't have to be any kind of neurodivergent for that to, be relatable. Either way, you've got this. You've done so much work, so much incredible work. Please don't be the one downplaying that. You don't deserve that. You never did. You never did anything to truly deserve the way you've been treated, okay, fam? That's their trauma. That's their lack of self-control. That's their path. That's their healing journey. They shouldn't be taking it out on you any more than you should be taking your own shit out on others. And you don't have to accept that, okay? You don't deserve it. I don't care if you had a bad day, you had a moment, and you popped off yourself. I don't care. That's not changing my mind, okay? I'm sticking to what I said. Look at this. The world is literally in the palm of your hand. You've been doing so much work and creating this balance, finding that balance, and it's a new dawn. So whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, even if it means tuning everyone out and remembering the sound of your own heartbeat. Thank you so much for joining me, fam. I really appreciate your time and energy. And always remember that I love you. When I switched over to this flower, after clearing away groups 2, those cards, I began feeling this gentleness, this absolute gentleness. And deep in the bottom, I am someone, my whole life, I can read eyes. I completely agree that eyes are the doorway to the soul. And it took me a long time to be capable of not only noticing the many layers of a person as I go down into their core, but understanding that those other layers may be dangerous, right? It took me a long time to come to that realization of really being able to acknowledge and understand the other layers as I'm going right down into that epicenter, right? There's a gentleness to you that I don't get to feel in people very often. So thank you for that. Now, I don't know if my phone stopped as I began, or if I just forgot to restart the recording. But library and lighthouse are kind of the same. There's someone in your life trying to dictate, trying to tell you who you are. There's someone trying to manipulate you, at least one person. And it's really taken a hit. You know what I mean? Like your subconscious maybe also be a bit cruel to you. And you don't deserve that. Your voice is the most important voice your entire life. So while I'm feeling this beautiful gentleness with all of you, I can also feel this ache deep within. Pulsating through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, scents, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused by, not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and another. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world represents or presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. I kind of feel like my pick of cards just all kind of, maybe we're kindred souls who really are just in the same body of water, in our different boats, able to understand one another in our own ways, right? Relate to one another in our varying ways. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten. So breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls to us to acknowledge the vow we are living by, consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. You've been underestimating yourself and your worth. You need to pick up the pen and take control of your own narrative once and for all. Heal that ache once and for all, fam. All right. Clarification round. Let's see. What else? Oh, I want to do it this way this time. Whoop. Yep. Stemming from childhood. Called it. That means to cut the deck. Man. This is one of those rare times when I kind of want to put them all out and then talk about it. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, I feel like my pick of cards all just kind of flow together. So if you were drawn to the other flowers as well, I don't blame you. Me too, I picked them. And the epilogue? Collaboration. Death lining up underneath the Six of Cards is, I feel, confirming that there are things from your childhood, a piece of you that was taken, or for some that you just because I can't get past this gentleness. You are such a loving, caring soul. My question is, do you care for yourself? And I mean like nurturing, feeding your soul, taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit, your evolution as a human. Do you take care of yourself even half as well as you take care of others? Because you're being called, if you haven't already, to leave that part of yourself, that stifling, the things that you'd learned from people who were just passing on generational trauma. You need to heal. I do believe that you have people in your life, if not already, you're going to, that you can celebrate with. But maybe sometimes you still feel the need to recede. Maybe there's a balance, but okay. They line up very well. But I'm also feeling that truly, like, I like to sometimes refer to them as chapters of a book. That's why I said epilogue. And it can just flow, chapters 1 through 4 and then 5 through 8. And I'm really feeling that flow with this one. There's something that you've really been struggling to heal and to work through. And there you have these moments, these epiphanies where, you're like, okay, well, I can't let that control me anymore. I gotta do my thing. There's nothing, I'm just gonna do my thing, and it's either gonna work or it's not. But why wouldn't it work, fam? Why wouldn't it? Because even if it doesn't turn out quite the way you expected, there's still growth. There's still things that you've learned. There's still something about that experience that was very necessary, or it wouldn't have frickin' happened. Maybe sometimes it can be very dramatic, but fam, that's that ache that's so deep down in there. And there are things that people have done. You know, this card mentions that there's always going to be people in your life that are, you know, talking crap, you know what I mean? That are going to be like, oh, well, they don't see it. You know what I mean? They don't see the idea, the plans, the goals. They don't see what you see. Whether you're an artist or a business person, you know? They can't see through your eyes, and that's okay, because they have their own eyeballs. Thank you. Right? They can't live your life for you. So why put that much weight to their words, right? And a lot of people misunderstand, they misjudge, they underestimate. But fam, please don't underestimate yourself, right? Please heal and shed that skin like a snake. You know what I mean? Shed it. Snakes aren't the only ones that do that, of course. Molt already. You know what I mean? You need a molt. You know, like you may have people who are close to you, but they still, you know, we're going this way. Oh yeah, I knew I'm doing this stuff. And oh, this is so great. But then things happened. And maybe you found yourself alone. Maybe things got especially cruel and difficult for a bit, and it affected you deeper than you've been willing to admit, at least in public. Why am I thinking of Johnny Depp right now? Right? So much crap from people who don't even know you, who have no idea as to what actually happened, what life has been like for you. But they sure love to yap, don't they? Mm-hmm. And there have been some incredible losses and incredible pain that maybe you've dwelt on a bit, that you've carried with you throughout your life. And everything, what is on my card? Everything that's happened, quite frankly, may have come from your childhood. From a parent that was especially cruel. From someone who really got into your head and into your core. And maybe you learned, I'm never going to do this to anyone. I'm never going to treat anyone like this. Maybe you've managed to still have that childlike wonder and joy. Maybe you lost it for a little bit and you need to reclaim it. It's safe to do so now. And maybe you've had moments where you've been a bit dramatic. You felt a bit dramatic. Dang, we're human, right? But I said it before and I'll say it again forever. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. Like, come on. It's a new dawn. So you may have a lot of scarring and wounds that people can't even see. Maybe you're one of those people who's really good at putting on a smile, faking it till you make it. Maybe you're a really good actor, right? And people can't tell. They honestly don't know that that's been inside of you, that that is a wound you've had since childhood. It doesn't make it any less real. It doesn't make it hurt any less. And it doesn't mean it's not there. But you need to shut out the world. Or maybe you have. Maybe you've been doing that. Maybe you became more reclusive and were able to remember the sound of your own heartbeat. You're in a very secure spot that has thankfully enabled you to. You are such a gentle soul, fam. How about we train your subconscious to remind you of that instead of acting like Carrie White's mother? You're all gonna laugh at you. Fuck them. They want to laugh? Go for it. Right? But this could mean a particular message trying to come in. I don't think so. I think that in this rebirth of yourself, after this dawn, what's happening here, right? Is even though it really hurts, even though it's really sucked at times, there's still 2 cups there. And what are the 2 cups representing? New beginnings, possibly love. Have you been able to heal? Have you been able to recognize that there's cups in a bridge and you can go home? You can find a new home, whatever that means for you. Because if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I always think of meditation when I see the 4 of Swords, and ultimately it's shutting out the world. It's getting the other voices and opinions the heck out of your head so that you can remember the sound of your own heartbeat, your own opinions, your own voice. And you absolutely deserve to. My goodness, your vibe is so, like, I'm about to cry, but not in a bad way. Like, I wish you had better people around you at particulars, at particular times, because it really did a number on you, whether people realize it or not. And you never deserved that, fam. You never deserved that. You didn't do anything wrong. You can take the blame all you want and take one on the chin and be like, no. I messed up. It was me. That breakup was my fault. I worked too much. I was doing too much. I was out partying too much. I was doing what I was in my head. Fam. Have you ever even driven on a 2-way street? Has anyone even been able to match your vibe? But in the best of ways? Are you drawing people closer to you that care and truly care? They don't care how much money you have. They don't care how many homes you have, or even if you own an island, for fuck's sake. If we're sticking to that theme. People who genuinely care about you, whether you're footing the bill at dinner or not. Or were you trained from childhood and what's the word? I can't think of the exact word, but a messed up version of love, right? That's something too many of us have to figure out, that the love we're taught as children, that idea, it's askew. You know what I mean? It's off. It's certainly not unconditional. And yet, you're capable. You're very, very capable of unconditional love. Even through all this pain, you're one of those people who broke the generational curse. You didn't like how it felt taking that pain on, that torture, that cruelty. And you vowed to never do it to anyone, to your kids, to anyone. And maybe you've had moments when, you know what, that's that whole thing of, is a reaction to abuse also abusive, right? Is it? because you've taken it all on yourself, whether you recognize if you deserve it or not. 510, fam. Holy cow pie, Batman. The fact that once we hit this rebirth, that's a whole heck of a lot of swords, and then pentacles, is speaking volumes to me. You know what you need to do. And if anybody else has an opinion on it, they can take it to the mirror. Because that's not your problem anymore. And you've been recognizing that, as you should. You don't deserve that toxicity in your veins. And they have no right to inject it into you. Okay? I have a tendency when I see the Page of Swords to think of someone, remember I said it before, of someone who's been underestimated. You know, like think about if you come up on this person and they're just like, woo, 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 with their sword, kind of, you know, lightheartedly practicing or whatever. But then they turn and they look like, what's that? And people have a tendency, maybe you look younger than people think you know what I mean? Maybe people are, you know, they tend to think you just don't quite get it. Excuse me? Listen, everything in these, once we hit the royalty of the swords, everything within it is speaking volumes of mental clarity. From the puffy white clouds to the wind in the trees and this person's hair just blowing in it, right? They're not just swinging a sword around because it feels good. And this is, oh, I look so cool. No. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. They know who they are. They've been through the ringer and they've learned. And they're very secure in themselves. They know who they are. There's no confusion anymore. Clarity. Absolute clarity. And there's a lot of collaboration happening now that wasn't able to happen before. My question to you is, where are you in this journey? My favorite with this is collaborating with the divine. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're the one at the chisel, I have nothing to complain about. Either way, you are in control of your life. You know exactly who you are. You know exactly what you've been through, and it doesn't matter if anybody else gets it anymore. That ache within can become dull. I don't know about you, but the tattoos that I have and want to still put on my back is more it represents the things that I choose to carry with me, right? The things that I choose to continue to hold and carry on my shoulders, carry on my back for the rest of my life. They're part of me and who I am, that they're part of my evolution, right? And that's how and you know, now when we collaborate with people, you know, maybe there's a lot of swords and stuff. Like maybe you've always been quite sure of yourself and well-spoken, right? You know that blades can be double-edged. You know the power, the way that not only you can be affected by people, but how you can affect others. And collaboration is just different now. What's at the bottom? Oh, yeah. The Page of Pentacles, baby. It's a new day. All right, so what is it that you want to do now? What does the rest of your life look like for you? Because guess who gets to choose that? Not the fuck them. You do. Yes, kitty sneeze. This is your life, fam. And like, oh my goodness, I seriously cannot get over how the vibe for this one feels. I've never felt this vibe before while doing any of these readings. You are such a gentle soul. I don't know if you're annoyed because I keep saying that or not. Excuse me. I see you. This is one of the most pleasant vibes I have ever felt, fan. You are an incredible human being, and the world is in the palm of your hand. Hi, Kona. What's going on? Is it time to curl up in my lap? Let's close this out after we do some extra notes, shall we? I got a kitty in my lap and I want to touch it. Oh man, maybe the food dish is empty and they're like, excuse me, my whiskers are touching the edges of this bowl. What the heck? Toxic, can you see that? I guess it's time to cut the deck, eh? Oh, what's that? That's just jumping forth. This looks different for everyone. Stop comparing. Read fine print and or read between the lines. You got some sneaky snakes in your orbit, trying to figure out how they can get in there and control you some more. How they can latch on like little leeches and parasites. Bam. What did I say? Generational trauma, suffering the consequences of others. Where and what is the solution? This has been quite a healing journey for you. And you are, after everything, you're still this gentle soul, capable. After everything, you are still capable of love. My question to you is, are you open to it? Are you open to collaborating in life? Work, home, otherwise? Have you reached that point in your healing journey? Alrighty, fam. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for sharing this vibe with me. My goodness gracious, this is incredible. And yeah, until next time, please remember, I love you.